Retain gang, what's poppin', man? This your boy Tay, back at y'all again. As always, man, I like to show my gratitude for everybody clicking on this video. Make sure y'all hit that like button and also hit that bell if you haven't subscribed already. That way you don't miss a video. I greatly appreciate you. So this was a question I was asked: what is the difference between your higher self and your lower self? All right, so I thought that was a great question, man. Make sure y'all stick around for this whole video because we're going to tap in. You have, well, let me just say you are a multi-dimensional being. And what that means is that you have multiple existences all at once. So if you look at the body, for example, your body is composed of 3 different types, right? You have a skeletal system, you have your muscular system, and you have your nervous system. All those are 3 different forms of consciousness, or 3 different forms of biology. They're all wrapped into one, which makes up your human body. You feel what I'm saying? They all have their own functions, their own functionality, but they work together, they work in harmony to create this experience for you. So just like that, you have a lower self and a higher self that gives you the full experience that you need here to elevate, to grow, to learn, to become a better version of yourself. All right, so we start with the higher self. Your higher self is your true self. It is that connection to the source, to the Most High. It's how you get information. This is where your intuition comes from. All the answers to your life comes from your higher self. All right. Now, the lower self, this is that connection to the physical world. Everything dealing with the physical world, everything dealing with survival is the lower self. Lust, passion, desire, hunger, that need to get up and get out and grind and survive and have what you need. It's all about you getting the bare necessities for life. One thing I noticed though is a lot of people get this mixed up and they feel like your lower self is bad and the higher self is good, when you need both. Neither one is bad or good. It all depends on the frequency that you're operating at, and it all depends on the actions that you're taking. Okay, for example, what I mean by that is sometimes you need your lower self. Your lower self is how you get out and make things happen. Okay, if you sit around and do nothing, you're not going to get nothing out of life. You know, you get up, you go to work, you cook, you get things done in this physical world so that you can survive. There's nothing wrong with that. And your higher self is not always good either, because sometimes if you stay in your higher self too much, nothing gets done and you become very docile. You become disconnected from the world, and you don't want that to happen. You are here for a reason, so you can't disconnect from this reality, right? You have to be in harmony. You have to be at balance, because you still need to be here to experience this reality, to learn, to grow, to become an evolved spirit, soul. All right. Your higher self oversees your lower self. So as I said before, your higher self is that connection to the source, your spirit guides, you know, all that intelligent entities that guide you, the Most High God, that connection. All of this comes from your higher self, and your higher self watches over the lower self to make sure that it's not acting crazy, that it's not doing things that's going to be destructive or evil. Because if you leave it up to your lower self, it'll do whatever it wants to do just to satisfy its needs or to gain pleasure. Your higher self has to be there to keep that in check. Okay? We can say your lower self is almost ruled by your ego. All right? Everything from your root all the way up to your solar is dealing with the body, the earth. All right? Sort of like Avatar. You watched the movie Avatar and you saw how they get into the machine to operate or control the avatar body. But that's the lower self. The avatar will be considered the lower self. It's the physical, it's the body. But the higher self will be the person in the machine. They're not really in the body, but they're controlling the body through that machine. So that's the dynamic between your higher self and lower self. Your higher self is not really here. It's in control of the body, right? It has your consciousness is transferred into the body, which will be called the soul. I don't want you guys thinking that it's good or bad. There's no good and bad when it comes to your higher self and lower self. It all depends on what you're indulging in. All right, so you don't want your lower self to get too much power, but you don't want your higher self to be too much either, because you become out of balance either way. So you always make sure that they're working in harmony together. You'll know if you're out of balance too. Sometimes when you're too much in your lower self, you'll see 666 or you'll see the 666, which means that, 6 is the representation of the beast. Some people say the mark of the beast, but really 6 is just the representation of man, the animal-like state. So when you see that, it's letting you know that you're worried too much about the physical. You're worried too much about your problems, your bills. How you going to get the next dollar? How you going to get your next meal? And it's telling you to stop worrying about these things and give control back to your higher self, because your higher self has all the answers. You let your higher self have control by being in the present moment. When we focus on the past and the future, we're in our lower self, because you're in a state of panic. You're in a state of needing. You're in a state of scarcity. But when you give control to your higher self, which means being right now, being here right now, how do you feel right now? Controlling what you can right now. This is when you get the answers. This is when your higher self can tap into the source, and the Most High can give you the answers. Your guides can guide you to the right answers. Calm, peace, serenity. Whenever you feel like you're in a point in your life where you're worried about something, you need to go back to your higher self and be calm, right? If you watch Naruto, Itachi said it best. He said, never panic, always stay calm, and think of a solution, because there's a solution to every problem. But you lose that ability to find a solution when you panic. All right, so sometimes you got to slow down and think. You got to slow down time, be present, and let the answers flow. So you will see these 6s whenever you're in your lower self too much. You can be in your higher self too much too. This is when you don't connect with people. You have a hard time fitting in. Sometimes you need to be in this position so that you can grow and you can see things for what they really are. Your higher self, it dispels the illusion. So you're going to see things with your spiritual eyes. Not these physical eyes, but you're going to see things for what they really are. People come speaking to you and talking to you. You will feel their intentions, whether it's good or bad. You will just know things just by the way you feel. You can feel the energy. That's your spiritual eye. You going to certain places. You feel the energy. You can tell if it's good or bad. Oh, I need to get up out of here because this situation ain't good. Something feel like it's about to happen. That's your higher self. Okay? When you let your higher self and lower self work together, this is when you start to master yourself. This is when you become a master and you start to gain traction on your spiritual growth. Okay, that's what it's all about. When I first started my journey, I was in my higher self a lot. And I thought that's how I was supposed to be all the time, just being in my higher self. My lower self is evil. And that's not good. You need your higher self and your lower self. You have to be able to discern which one to tap into, which situation calls for your lower self, which situation calls for your higher self. All right? So the main difference between those two is your lower self is dealing with the physical world. How you gonna eat? How you gonna survive? Getting money. All of those things. Higher self is dealing with the ultimate truth. Your soul purpose. What you came here to do. The actual reality outside this illusion, which is the matrix. There is no this one is bad, this one is good. It's all an experience. And this experience is geared for you, specifically for you, so that you can grow. All right, because I'm going to tell you this. I don't care who you listening to. I don't care, whatever spiritual leader that you listen to, you go to for help. Nobody can master you. Nobody can master you but you. All right? You the only person that know yourself. All the knowledge that you gain, how many books you read, none of that matters until you decide to change yourself. Nobody can do that for you. Nobody can save you. You got to save yourself. All right? So know the difference between these and tap into these, man. Use your lower self when you need to get out here and make your dreams come true. Use your higher self to find the answers, to be led on the path that you need to go to live righteous and to live the most abundant, the most fruitful life. All right? With that being said, man, if you guys want to donate to the channel, I'll leave all my links in the description and in my pinned comments. Also, if you need a consultation, you want to talk to your boy Tay, I'll leave a link for that as well. That being said, man, y'all have a beautiful day, and I'm out. Peace.